Hello guys, this is JKJ Deep in the Fluff, coming in with video 34, I think. Yeah, JKJ Deep in coming in with the episode 34, and the name of the name of the today, the name of the title of the day. Man like to justify him, self. Don't want like to justify him for God. The only reason why I say that, man like to justify him before God, rather than God justifying him, and that's completely wrong. Being honest, I say that in saying I'm reading Job, and I think the important chapters in Job, reading it right now, I still not all the way through it, so I can't really say all the chapters, but I think the main important one is chapter 39 all the way to 33, and probably maybe more. But those chapters is really changing my mind about Job, so to say, and really open my eyes and understand why the person I was listening to said Job was a man having put his works before God. And as in people, as we are, I think we like justifying our works before God. And we like this. We want to complain. Why do bad things happen to us? And that pretty much is the whole problem to Job. Why bad things happen to us? Like, it's unfair that bad things happen for us. If you read through the New Testament, it says meant us to produce endurance and steadfastness in God. That's from John. First chapter of John, verses 4. Chapter 1, verse 4. Produce endurance. And it's meant for growth and things. And Job had the same thing. He suffered, but instead of him submitting to God and praying and realize, just trust God, he's complaining to God. And being honest, I did the same thing. And while I'm realizing how much I would just like Job, man like to justify himself before God. Like I say, I like justifying myself before God. I deserve this because I did such and such. I don't deserve this because I was getting closer to God. And pretty much, I was complaining when my mom passed away. I was like, why God? Why have you forsaken me? Sorry about that. That was my guitar. But like, I say, why God? Why have you forsaken me? Why are you taking something good away from me? Job lost his family. Job took what was good in his life. He was his family and his livestock and his livestock and all his animals that he owned. And my life, it was my mom. And my mom was getting closer to me, so I was like, just feeling why he take away my mother. Why? I know it was at the end of the day for me to produce endurance and stay fast and grow closer to him. But at the same time, why? And so I was justifying why my mother should have been in my life. I've been trying to be like God and say he is wrong and I'm right. And you did something bad, God. And men love doing that. Men saying, why did bad things happen? God, I did all of this. Why did this happen? I've been doing good for so long. Why did this happen? And men love to justify it. Not just me, not just only men. I know girls do it too. And we all try to justify things to God. This is why I'm good. This is why I need it. Like me looking for a job. God, I need a job so I can make money. But God was perfectly fine providing for what I need. And we like to say, we need this. And you actually get this because I'm getting close to you. Like when my mom passed away, I was complaining. I was like, why God? I was actually coming closer to you when my mom was still alive. And I was trying to justify my mom being alive instead of accepting that he's God. He's greater than we. And I could God admit, I did sin. And reading Job 29. Let me get to that chapter. 29. No, Job 29 is pretty good, but I think the main part, sorry, I messed up a little bit, but like the Like you see, Job 29 is pretty much Job wrapping up why God is wrong. That's the whole point of it. Why God is wrong. And then you get to chapter 23. 23 is the true changing point in this whole story. Pointing out we are not God. And we just need to be humble to God, for he knows what is great. He's just. And so when I think the whole problem that Job was facing is this. In verse 23, verse 1. Verse 2. He burnt it with anger at Job. Asha, I can't read his name. Elihu, Isa. I'm gonna say he was bringing anger because Job was justifying himself rather than God, and we always fall, and man, we like to fall in self. We try to justify it to God, then letting God justify it for me. Because when God justifies something, he makes it for a reason. And because it's for his good. And for our good. And we try to make things to justify to God. But God is higher than we. And then when you get longer in, you see 33 have a great story of God wants it's unfair. And you want. And we see them pointing out more his sin in verse 33, verses 8 to 9. Surely you spoke in your ear, and you have here. You have here the voice of your words, and you say, I am poor without transgression, and I am clean, and there is no iniquity in me. No iniquity, and say, I am perfect. I mean, I will say I'm perfect for God that my mom didn't have to die. I was unclean. I was not perfect. But I was saying, God, why are you getting rid of something good? God, why are you taking away? And Job was saying, even better, he was perfect. I think that's the one thing I have to realize. Every time we try to justify to God, we're saying that we are better than God. And Job was clearly saying that he was better than God because I am right and I am innocent. And God takes something that I am innocent. But then you get to verse 24 is a good point. Like other point talk about sin. But 34 hits different. Because 34 actually talks about Job's sin. And it's like, it's not first level, like, when you think of sin, is killing somebody, like, all the major ones. But Job was saying that all the little ones he does. He does work with evildoers. He walk with the ways of the wicked man. And he scoff. He drinks up scoff. Scoffing is like mocking, deceiving, like bad. And he walks, and in verse 8, he travels in the company with evildoers, and he walks with evil men. He may be good, but he's choosing to support evilness at the end of the day. And then when you read further on to verse 9, for he walks, for he have said, it profit a man nothing, that he shall work, that he shall profit a man nothing.